Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, or if this is your first time here, welcome to the channel. I'm Henry Higgins III and this is going to be my short spoiler free review of Wonder Man, the latest MCU show on Disney+. It dropped yesterday, they dropped all 8 episodes, and the show stars Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, who a lot of us may know from the Aquaman movies and the Candyman reboot. He's starring as Simon Williams, and we have Ben Kingsley, who, as well as being in the MCU previously, obviously done everything from Gandhi to Sexy Beast. He's returning as Trevor Slattery, and he's still trying to escape his past as the Mandarin, and they are here as another odd couple MCU pairing, which the MCU can do really well, and they're ably supported by ex-Mayo as Janelle Jackson, who plays Simon's agent, and Zlatko Burić, who was most recently seen, at least for me, as the president of Barovia in Superman, the James Gunn Superman. And he plays a reclusive art house director who's an allegory of a Werner Herzog type. It's a very thinly veiled allegory of that. And he's deciding to remake an 80s classic superhero movie in a world where superheroes and villains are real, which is obviously the MCU. And it's also a slight little burn and a slight little satirical look at superhero fatigue, which I don't think's a thing, but it obviously gets discussed. And the question is, how well does that adapt to the TV format? As I did mention at the start, this is going to be a spoiler-free review, so while I will say that due to the Hollywood setting around auditions and filmings of TV shows and movies, there are some fantastic cameos from actors playing versions of themselves. I'm not going to spoil who they are here, and the reason for that is they work so damn well in this show that you really need to experience them as they were designed to be experienced. As for the show itself, the basic plot, as revealed in the trailers, sees Von Kovac remaking the Wonder Man movie from the 80s, while Simon Williams and Trevor Slattery are both trying to they're looking to bag the lead roles in what promises to be a huge commercial and critical hit. For the most part, the show it's essentially a duology. It's Trevor and Simon playing off each other, and there's various other characters hovering in the background. And from other reviews that I've read from people involved in the industry, the scenes set at the auditions and on the backlots are pretty damn accurate. The DDoC are also involved, the Department of Damage Control, which is where it ties to the greater MCU, outside Trevor Slattery himself, of course. And the way they are interwoven into this, it's absolutely fantastically done. I was very impressed with, because it's Agent Cleary, who has been in Spider-Man No Way Home and also Miss Marvel. He's the main DDoC person in this one as well. And the reason for them being involved and how that ties into Simon and Trevor is really well done, and it plays well over the 8 episodes. It's quite an arc, quite an up and down. It's quite an emotional arc at times as well. Looking at the performances, the acting across the board is absolutely phenomenal. Everyone involved does a fantastic job, as you would expect with Yahya and Ben Kingsley. They are amazingly good in their respective roles. They've both shown in previous works how amazing they can be. And Ben Kingsley it always seems like he's having a blast when he's playing Trevor Slattery. Even going back to Iron Man 3 when he was playing the Mandarin, and when he was busted as Trevor, and then in Shang-Chi, where the same thing happened again, he was playing Trevor, who was actually a prisoner of the real Mandarin, who was never actually called the Mandarin. He found that name a joke. The acting from everyone involved is astoundingly good. The effects, the special effects for the few scenes with superpowers on show they're really, for a TV budget, they're absolutely astounding. Episode 4, and I'm not going to explain why, is a standout, and you'll see why when you do get around to watching it if you haven't watched it already. The rest of it builds and builds, and then the final 2 episodes are just astounding, which is a big testament to the show, because a big concern I had coming in was the fact the entire series was released all at once. You know, it was just a binge drop. However, having watched the show, I can see why they did it, and from my experience, it was a smart choice to do that here. And the reason I say that is because while this is a Marvel MCU show, it is unlike anything else that they've done. There are few scenes of superpowers, and the show is essentially it's a character piece for the most part. It's essentially a 2-part or 2-header. And while there is little translation from page to screen on the character of Simon Williams, there are some similarities, but they haven't touched on pretty much anything of his comic book origin or greater mythos. So it's kind of ideal for both of those who are aware and those who are not aware of his comic book history, as they will essentially have the same experience with this version of the character. It's more or less a brand new version of Simon Williams. Now, of course, in future shows and in future movies, they could expand on this and elaborate more on his comic book origins and comic book mythos. I mean, he was created by Baron Zemo. He had his powers by Baron Zemo in the comics. He has strong ties to Vision. With with Vision Quest coming up, that could still happen, but for now he's essentially his own thing, and the show benefits from that. With the show itself, with it being 8 episodes, my original plan was to watch 2 episodes per day from Wednesday, when I did watch it, to Saturday, but I was so engrossed, I was so enthralled, so sucked in by the show that I binged all 8 episodes in a single sitting. And I would have continued binging if there had been more episodes. It really was that great. It really was that fantastic. Essentially, from me, without a word of a lie, Wonder Man is 100% grade A perfection from beginning to end. Destin Daniel Cretton, director of Shang-Chi, so he's worked with Ben Kingsley as Trevor Slattery before, and he's also going to be he is the director of the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is looking great from the footage we've seen in the behind-the-scenes stuff. He did a wonderful job on this as a showrunner and as one of the writers of the entire series. He did a wonderful job. The show is amazing from beginning to end. And as the first output from the MCU in 2026, it's safe to say that Marvel, the MCU, and Disney Plus for the MCU, they're off to a banger of a start for the year. We do have, as I say, we've got Punisher special presentation coming up, and obviously a Vision Quest to round out the WandaVision trilogy they've called it, which includes Agatha all along. So that's a really good omen for where the MCU is going to be in 2026. As I say, we've got Spider-Man Brand New Day. We also have Avengers Doomsday at the end of the year. But that'll do us for today, as the temptation to start blabbing about the cameos, an unexpected returning character, the actual ending, how it was a very emotional arc completed, and what it could mean for the wider MCU, the temptation to start blabbing about all of that is ridiculously high. So I'm not going to do that, but I am going to thank you for taking the time out of your day to spend it here with me. Please like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and for the love of Odin and all the gods, watch Wonder Man. So look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe, and above all else, stay awesome. Goodbye.